Good afternoon, Onefootballers, and welcome back to week 4 of the European Power Rankings, where we'll be looking back at week 2 and seeing the movers both up and down in the best players in European football. We'll be skipping over the international break from last week, as that was a fresh start for everybody. But which player has retained his spot, which player has moved up a few gears, and which player is finding life in his career even at the age of 34. All that coming up in the next few minutes, so let's go. In at number 10 is a player who's just scored his first goal for Bayern Munich after moving 2 years ago. It came at his former club Benfica. For Renato Sanchez, he'll be hoping that this brings around a new era of football for him in Germany. He had an ill-fated loan spell at Swansea last season, but he, alongside many of the Bayern Munich fans and even the Portugal fans, will be hoping that he'll now be able to showcase his potential. The kind of potential that saw him named the best European teenager 2 years ago. In at number 9 is someone who is definitely profiting from Cristiano Ronaldo leaving the Bernabeu. His quality has never been in doubt, but for Isco, now is his time to shine. He added to an equaliser against Bilbao at the weekend with a fantastic free kick and performance last night against Roma, which sees him earn a spot at number 9 in this list. In at number 8 is someone who could have been part of Liverpool's fantastic win over PSG had his move not failed over the summer. But for Nabil Fekir, Lyon's game against Manchester City was a chance for him to show the English fans and media that he still is a pretty good player. And how? He scored a fantastic goal and provided a brilliant assist in Lyon's shock win at the Etihad, and it means that clubs that were are probably now still looking at him as a potential replacement for any of their outgoing stars in the next transfer window. He's shown the kind of mental toughness which has seen him named captain over the last few seasons too. In at number 7 is James Milner. Now, he's not usually a headline grabber unless he says something about Robinho after a match, but when you're keeping out the likes of Naby Keita and Jordan Henderson from the team, you must be doing something right. He's built a career on industry and hard work, but even approaching his mid-30s, he's still got lots to offer on the ball as well, as was seen in his fantastic contribution to Liverpool's win over PSG on Tuesday night. And talking of old players, number 6 is Arjen Robben, who's found life in his career just yet. A fantastic goal at the weekend was followed up in midweek with another great performance against Benfica. And even though he is 34 years old and in his last year of his contract to Bayern Munich, there's no doubt that should he let that run out, a few teams will definitely be seeking his contribution to their team, knowing that he can still perform at the highest level. So now let's head into the top 5, where we start with Captain Fantastic Paul Pogba. He played a vital role in Manchester United's win over the weekend against Watford, and in midweek he was on fine form again as they beat Young Boys. 2 goals from him saw him cap a fantastic performance in Switzerland, and he may even get the armband on a permanent basis. This is because regular captain Antonio Valencia's position is now under threat from summer signing Diego Dalot, who had a pretty good debut at right back. In at number 4, and someone just like Isco who is profiting from Ronaldo leaving Real Madrid, it's Gareth Bale. Again, much like Isco, we all knew he was a pretty talented player, but now he's really got the space to let himself shine. A fantastic performance last night saw him score a magnificent goal as Real Madrid broke away and doubled their lead against Roma. The only question, as normal with the Welshman, is whether he can stay injury-free, but if he can, he really could be the number 1 man at the Bernabeu this season. Now we come into the top 3, and we start with someone who moved up from number 7 in the power rankings a few weeks ago. It's Eden Hazard. Much talk has been made of him potentially winning the Ballon d'Or, and if he can put in performances like he did against Cardiff at the weekend, there's no reason why not. Claims that he could score 40 goals this season may be a little overboard, but after a brilliant hat-trick and a fantastic performances, why not? Oh, and on top of that, he's also managed to make Olivier Giroud look like a half-decent striker, so even more props for him. In at number 2 this week is a player who has moved up 1 spot from number 3, and deservedly so. It's Barcelona's Ousmane Dembele. After scoring the winner against Sociedad on the weekend, he managed to put in another fantastic display against PSV. And when a certain other player has scored a hat-trick, you must have scored a good goal to take some headlines away. And how? He absolutely turned 3 defenders before running forward and curling a delightful goal into the bottom corner. It seems he's finally found his feet at the new camp, which could be good news for Barca, but bad news for the rest of the European competition. And staying at number 1 is, as just mentioned, Lionel Messi. Of course, he wouldn't really be positioned anywhere else after scoring another hat-trick in the Champions League. This takes him on to 18 hat-tricks won ahead of rival Cristiano Ronaldo, and he now has 64 goals in 63 Champions League group stage games. A phenomenal return for the star, but after all these years, do you really expect anything else? So there you have it for European Power Rankings Week 4. But as usual, smash the like button and let me know in the comment section what you thought of the list. Should some players be placed higher? Should some players not have been in there at all? And who would you have had as number 1 if you can really argue with Lionel Messi. Let me know, and until next time, I'll see you guys later.